So this morning, I picked up my 2x3x3, and I said to myself, I want to solve this blindfolded. So I did. So I figured out how to solve a 2x3x3 blindfolded. And in this tutorial, I will teach you how to do it. Now, I bet there are many different ways to do it. I will be teaching you how to do it using Old Pockman. If you already know Old Pockman for 3x3 blind, and I recommend that you do, this will be very easy for you. All you have to do is just know how to apply Old Pockman to a 2x3x3. So we'll go over corners first. So just like in Old Pockman, you're going to be using the Perm to swap two corners. So we're going to be setting up the corners to this position, and so you're going to need to learn the Perm on a 2x3x3. So the Perm on a 2x3x3 is RU prime, RU prime, RUR, D prime, RUR, U prime R, DR. There you have a Perm. So that's going to be your 2-cycle to swap corners. So this is your buffer area, so all your setup moves for corners can't include a U, an L, or a B. So that means your setup moves can include R's, F's, and D's, just like on a 3x3. So that is your setup moves and your algorithm for corners. And you can use the same lettering system, but all you will need is the 4 bottom stickers and the 4 top stickers. You won't need any of the side stickers. So you can have a new lettering system or your same lettering system for 3x3 if you memorize with the letters. Or since there's not that as many pieces on a 2x3x3, maybe you can just tap the locations to memorize where your pieces are. Now for edges, we're going to go over setup moves and algorithm. So on a 3x3 for Old Pockman, you'd use T-Perm, J-Perm, or L-Perm to swap this edge with one of these 3 edges. And it will also swap those 2 corners back and forth. So, but for this, the 2x3x3 is very special because you can do a 2-cycle of edges without messing up any corners. So that means you cannot have like parity for edges in a sense. Parity doesn't affect edges in a sense. So your buffer area will just be this edge, this FR edge, this sticker to be exact, and it will be swapping it with this sticker. Your algorithm to swap these two is just RU2, RU2, RU2. So that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can say the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to help you keep track and not do too many RU2s. So since this edge is your only buffer piece, you can do L moves, R moves, D moves, and B moves. And so if I have a corner over here, or an edge over here, and I want to get it up here, I can just do D prime B, and then do my 6 moves. So that is your setup moves and your algorithm for edges. For 3x3 parity, using Old Pockman, you can just use an R-Perm, this R-Perm. But on here, we'll be doing corners first because you can't have parity for corners, and so that parity will affect the edges. The reason why you have parity is because while you're swapping these 2 corners back and forth, you're also swapping these 2 edges back and forth. And when there's an odd number of swapping, these edges end up in a different place than they were when you started solving corners. So when you're done solving corners, you can have a case like this. This is your parity, in a sense. When you're done solving corners and you have an odd number of corner swaps, you'll end up with these two edges swapped. So to solve this, you can do L, U, L, U prime, and then do your edge swap, and then undo that. U, L, U prime, L. And that fixes parity. And then that would be corners, then fixing parity if you have it, and then going straight into edges. So that should be enough for you to be able to solve the 2x3x3 blindfolded if you already have knowledge of Old Pokémon. But to reinforce that, I will do a walkthrough solve. So the scramble for this walkthrough solve is in the description. When you scramble with white on top, green in front, you should get this position. Now, how you can hold it. Since there are no centerpieces, you can hold it however you want. I normally hold 3x3 with white on top, green in front. So I'm going to hold white on top and whatever I want in front. Now, I can save myself some time if I hold it in such a way that some pieces are already solved. I see this blue and red edge. I normally hold it so that white is on top, green is in front. So if I'm holding it like that, these two edges can be solved now. I can solve the rest of the pieces around these two edges. And you don't normally want your buffer piece to be solved, but if it's worth it, go for it. Now when I say if it's worth it, if you have all the bottom layer edges solved in the position you have it and your buffer piece, then it's probably worth it because that's saving you 4 pieces. So here, I'm saving myself 2 edges being solved. So we're going to do corners first. So this is your buffer corner. This piece goes here. So 1. So here. So I'm just going to say my letters. So this would be D on my memo. So D, G. D goes to G. So DG. G goes to P. DG, PM. DG, PM. M goes to J. DG, PM, J. Now J goes to S. DG, PM, JS. And S goes to V. So DG, PM, JS, V. So V is left on its own. So that means we have an odd number of corner swaps and we have parity. So we'll just go over that again. DG, DG, PM, JS, V. And parity. So we're going to have to swap these 2 edges before we get to edges. So we have our corners memoed. Now for edges. This is your buffer sticker. This goes to here. On 3x3, this would be I for me. So I have IE, and that's my buffer piece, so I need to start a new thread. IE, and I'm going to start it at M. No, I'm going to start it at X, because X has a 1 move setup. So IE, XM, IE, XM, X. IE, XM, X. This piece is already solved. And I would also have parity on edges, but since you can swap 2 edges without affecting corners, you won't have to do anything about this. So IE, XM, X. And that's it. So you will be able to swap all of those. So now I'm not going to put on the blindfold for this, but this is what I would do if I had the blindfold on. So I remember my corner memo was D. So my set and move for D. Put it here. Do the Y perm. R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R. D prime, R, U, R. U prime, R, D, R. And then undo the set and move. This corner's solved. So, and then DG. So my set and move for G is, and then R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. Undo my set and move. And then P, so my set and move for P is boom, boom, and then R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. And then undo the set and move. And then I have M, so my set and move for M is just F, and then R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. And undo my set and move. And then I have J. J's already set up. R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. Then I have S. My set and move for S. Boom, boom. And then R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. Undo the set and move. And then I have V. Set and move. R, U prime, R, U prime, R, U, R, D prime, R, U, R, U prime, R, D, R. Undo my set and move. And then I had parity because that was an odd number of corner swaps. So L, U prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then undo that. U, L, U prime, L. And now I can go on to edges. So I had I, E. That was the first two in my corner memo, in my edge memo. So set and move for this. L, D prime, B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, boom, boom. And then E. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, boom. Then X. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom. And then I had M. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boom, boom. And then X again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Undo your set it move. Pull off the blindfold and you're done. So I hope that made sense. Basically, just apply Old Pachman to your 2x3x3. All you need is two algorithms, Y perm and the intuitive opposite edge swap. And there you go. That's how to solve the 2x3x3 cube blindfolded. Thank you for watching.